Hi guys, Chef Kevin Belton here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Now, today for a little hint of sweetness, we're gonna make a sour cream coffee cake. That sour cream is gonna keep it nice and moist, plus it's gonna give it a little bit of tartness to that sweetness. And it's gonna have a streusel topping. So let's get started with that. So I have 3 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, teaspoon of salt. To this, we're going to put in a half a cup of granulated sugar. I have 1 cup of brown sugar. And for this recipe, I decided to do dark brown. You could do light brown, you could do dark brown, whichever one that you like. I also have a cup of melted butter. So that's 2 sticks of butter that's melted. Now, this streusel topping is going to end up looking like sand, okay? So we want to take our butter, just pour your butter in. Like I said, it's going to take on a resemblance of wet sand. So now let's get to our cake part, okay? For our cake, what I've blended in our mixer so far, I had 2 1/4 cups of flour, 1 1/4 cups of granulated sugar, with a tablespoon of baking powder, a half teaspoon of baking soda, and a half teaspoon of salt, okay? Now I just blended that together. The other thing we're going to put in, I have a half cup of sour cream that we're going to get in. Remember, that sour cream is going to give us a little tartness. It's going to keep everything really nice and moist. And I've taken butter, okay? Stick and a half of butter. I've basically cubed it, had it in the refrigerator, but I've had it sitting on the counter for a few minutes because we want it cold, but we don't want it too soft, okay? So I'm gonna get this in, and now what we want to do, we want to blend this until our butter and the sour cream come together, okay? So let's get this blended. You could see how our butter has now cut in. Now, what I have here in our bowl, I have taken a cup of sour cream and 4 eggs, tablespoon of vanilla. I've mixed this together really, really well, and I want to add this here, but I want to add it in thirds, okay? So I'm going to add a third at a time. I'm going to blend this for about 20 seconds, and once it's blended all in, we're going to let it go for about 2 minutes. Then we'll be ready to assemble our cake in a streusel. Now, as you can see, I like to line the pan with a little parchment paper because usually when I bake a cake, I like to take it out to be able to cut it, but that's not necessary. I've spread out 2 cups of the batter, okay, on the bottom. Now I'm going to take about a cup of our streusel and sprinkle it over. So we're going to use a cup here. Just spread it all over. And basically what we're going to do, make sure you get the corners. We're going to build layers. We're going to put another 2 cups of batter, more streusel. Another 2 cups of batter, more streusel. Now you will have some streusel left, okay? Because we're going to bake it for 25 minutes. And at the end of that 25 minutes, we'll put the rest of the streusel on the top and then bake it for another 25 minutes. So a total baking time of about 45 minutes. So let's get this ready to put in the oven. Now, we want to try to do this next part very quickly, okay? So it's time to take the cake out. We want to get the rest of the streusel on. And I've put the streusel on a sheet pan just so it could dry out a little bit. And the reason why, our cake isn't totally cooked yet. This is why I'm trying to do this fairly quick. All right, and we want to cover up the pieces of cake that have popped up to the top. Notice, like we're seeing some cake right there. We want to make sure that gets covered with the streusel top. So let's get this corner and this one, and let's get it back in the oven because we want it to continue baking. And that's why we want that heat. I closed the oven door so the heat would stay in. So now this is going to go for about another 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. So you have a total cooking time of 45 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes, okay? Now, for our glaze, really simple. 2 cups of sugar, a little pinch of salt, and I have a little milk with vanilla. We'll start with a few tablespoons, and we'll mix it, and we'll keep adding our milk and vanilla mixture to it until we have a nice drizzleable glaze that we can put over our cake. So I can't wait to show you this, how this will come together out of the oven. This is going to be a really tasty treat that you're going to want to make. Can't wait for you to see it. There it is. Toothpick comes out nice and clean. Now, look at the glaze. Okay? Once the cake cools, I'll take half of this, drizzle over the cake, and then as everyone gets their own piece, they can use the other glaze to add as much or little as they want. I tell you what, this recipe, it's so moist. I can't wait to try that crunchy top. Oh, this is going to be so good when it cools. Thank you so much for cooking with me today. Keep washing those hands. Hey, mask up. Stay safe out there, all right? For WWL TV, I'm Chef Kevin Belton, and we'll see you soon.